Hey guys, as I promised you, I'm gonna make this video about positioning. Obviously, you're gonna have to excuse me because I'm really improvising here, but it doesn't matter because the important thing is that you understand what you need to do regards positioning for volleyball. So let me introduce you to the players first. So I've got the setter here. The setter is He-Man. Yeah, because she's powerful, she's muscly, she's confident. And then I have the two middle players. As you can see, they are tall, skinny, probably with high heels at the moment. So this is middle player 1, middle player 2. And then I have my two outsiders, outsider 1 and 2. And I have my offsetter, because she's unique. She wants to be different, right? So, okay, so let's start. So I explained to you before that we're going to start probably a volleyball game with a player in certain positions. And just as a reminder, this is our volleyball court. This is our 3 meters line. And here you're going to pretend it's the middle line of the court. Yeah, so this is your side that you're going to play. And you need to remember that the court will have positions. So that's position number 1. And then you go number 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. So you have the 6 positions on court. So we start the match, and that's not a rule, but I said usually we're going to start the match with the setter in position number 2. And then I told you before the setter, we're going to have an outsider. So we're going to have the outsider number 1 here. And then we're going to have a middle player. So there you have the setter, the outsider, and the middle player. And then you just need to think, oh, who's going to be the opposite of this guy? So you know the opposite of the setter is the offsetter. The opposite of the outsider be another outsider, and the opposite of the middle player be another middle player. So there you have. So that's pretty much how you start a set. So now that you know where you should be, if you are an outsider, you know you need to be either position 3 or 6. If you're a middle player, either 4 or 1. If you're an offsetter, number 5. So let's concentrate. All these videos about the positions that you're going to take for when the other team is serving, and then you're going to prepare to bend your knees and receive. I know you're all used to bend your knees and receive, but that's another thing about volleyball. So let's just start it. So main thing is, I told you before, so the outsider, he is not a middle player, so I don't want him to spike in the middle. I want him to spike really on this side here, on number 4. And the middle player, that's the one that I need to spike in the middle. So we need to find a way, yeah, to move these guys to make it easier for them to be in the right place to spike the ball and also organize the reception here. So what I can do for this is the setter is in the right position because I'd like the setter to be in this side anyway, on the offset as well. So I told you the outsider, I don't want him to be in the middle, so I can move him to be here. And then I can only organize the rest of the people to make the half circle, yeah? So let's make a beautiful half circle. So he can move a little bit here. The other middle player can prepare for reception here. And then the other outsider just close, and then close here. So there's as you can see, I have a half circle, yeah, preparing to receive. My outsider is here, next to position 4. So when the ball comes, he's already ready to go to number 4. And when the ball comes as well, the middle player, he just needs to come all the way here. And then after the reception, the muscle-matic setter will be able to set either to the middle player or either to the outsider. So this is position where the setter is in position number 2. Yeah, so let's go back to the rotation. And everyone go back to the normal place. Okay? Right, so now we made a point, we made a rotation. So before, the setter was in position 2, and then now everyone rotated one position, and the setter now is in position 1. So how I can organize this bunch of queens just to bend and receive the service from the other side? Right, so as you can see, the middle player is in the middle already, so he's in a really good position. I don't want to move him from there because that's where he needs to spike. But I still need to get the other queens to receive the serve. So I need to organize this to make our famous half circle positioning for reception. So I know that the setter needs to move forward because he is going to need to set, but he cannot cross. He cannot cross this player here because that's breaking the rules, as you know. So he needs to stay behind. So he just stays behind, and then we organize the other players to do the half circle. And then you have, the setter will come here and touch the outsider. Probably the outsider will just gasp and think, oh my God. But they are two bottoms, so that's not going to work anyway. So here you have the positioning of the half circle, and then when they serve from the other side, yes, my middle player is already ready to spike. He's not receiving though, it's just 4 people receiving. So as soon as someone touches the ball on the other side for serve, right, muscle memory him and setter will go forward. Yes, the middle player will come back to spike. And then after the reception, what we're gonna have here, the setter will have 3 options to set to, right? So the setter can set to this spiker here, the outside. He's going to spike in number 2. That's the only exception, as I explained to you before. When the setter is in number 1 and the other team is serving, I will have the outsider in number 2. The middle player can spike in the middle, and the off-setter will spike in number 4. Yeah, so the setter will have 3 options to set to these guys, and anyone will be able to spike, either the off-setter or middle player or the outsider or number 2. Okay, once the setter sets the ball, someone passes the ball to the other side, the setter needs to go back here and prepare for defense. Okay, there you go. So now you know what to do. So let's just go back to the position. The middle is here, the off-setter. So here again you have the half circle with the receivers. The setter just behind the outsider. And ready for reception. That's the second rotation when the setter is in position 1. Right, so the next rotation, the setter will be on position 6. As you can see, setter is in position 6. Yeah, and then we need to organize for reception from there. So let's just analyze the position for everyone. As you can see, this outsider was before in the previous rotation, he was front court, but now he's back court because the other outsider, now outsider number 2, is front court. So let's just analyze here how things are. And I know that my outsider that is front court now, he's in a very good position because he's already number 4. So he's ready to spike. I don't need to worry with him too much. But this tall queen here is in number 2, and she's a middle player. And I don't want her to be there. I want her to spike in the middle. Also, the off-setter, she is in the middle. She's in position 3. And I really don't want her to spike in the middle. I want her to spike at number 2. So I need to do something about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the setter all the way next to the off-setter. And at the moment, so just let's organize the reception. So the middle player will close here with the backcourt outsider. And the middle will come here for reception as well. And the outsider will come for reception. So as you can see, I have my half circle pretty much ready for reception. Yeah, so these 4 guys here are doing the half circle. And the setter is close to the net, so he's really close to where he needs to be to set the ball. But then I have a little bit of a problem that still needs to be resolved, which is obviously my middle player is next to position 2 and the offsetter is in position 3. So as soon as someone touches the ball on the other side, what needs to happen? The ball is coming to my side. So this guy here, the offsetter, we quickly need to move to position 2. The setter will need to go and prepare for setting, and then the middle player will need to go around and get ready to spike in the middle. So as soon as there is a reception, the situation that I have here is the setter is already ready to set. The offsetter is already good in his position number 2. The middle player is good in position number 3 to spike in the middle, and the outsider is good in position 4. So the setter has 3 options here to set to, and they can go and rock and roll. Right, okay, so now the setter is in position number 5, as you can see here. And I still have 3 spikers front court. So I have my middle player in number 4. I have my outsider in number 2. And here is in position number 3. And I have my offsetter in position number 2. So as you can see, the offsetter is already in position number 2, which is good because I wanted my offsetter to spike from position number 2 anyway. So I don't need to worry about him so much. What's happening here is I have a middle player in position 4. And I have an outsider in position 3, and I really don't want this to happen because I want my outsider to spike from position 4, and I want my middle player to spike from position 3. So I need to organize something about it. So what we can do is obviously also my setter needs to go forward because I want my setter next to the net. I want my setter to be able to be next to the net to be easier for him to set the ball, right? So how can I resolve this problem? So first of all, let's resolve the setter problem, which is I'm gonna push him next to the net, next to the middle player. So the middle player is here, the setter is behind him. As you know, the setter cannot be in front of the middle player. Oops. The setter cannot be in front of the middle player because that will break the rule. We'll be crossing a line. Right, so my setter is next to the net. So also, as I told you before, I don't want my outsider spiking from the middle from position 3. I want my outsider spiking from position 4. So I can move him here. And the only rule that I want is my outsider cannot cross the middle player because my outsider is in position 3, my middle player is in position 4. So if I bring my outsider all the way here, that's not allowed. Yeah, so he needs to stay on the right of the middle player. Can he cross the setter? Yes, he can. There's nothing to do with the setter. It's more about the middle player. So I bring him here. So the setter is close to the middle player. So middle player is not receiving. So then I have the other 3 guys to receive. And then I just need to arrange the half circle. So come here. Ooh, everything is dropping. Come here, and then I have pretty much my half circle. Yeah, ready for reception. And then what's gonna happen here is when someone touches the ball to serve from the other team from the other side, the setter goes first because he needs to be ready to set. So he runs to his position, which is around here, between 2 and 3. Yeah, after the setter, when the ball is coming in the air, the middle player needs to move as well, all the way here. And then after the reception, what's gonna happen is, after the reception, the setter, he's still back court, he's position number 5, so he still have 3 spikers in front court. So he have the outsider, he can spike here in position number 4. He's got the middle player. He can go in spike number 3. And he still has the offsetter spiking position number 2. So everyone is ready to spike in their positions. Yeah? So very quickly, let's just go back to the formation. So I have my middle player in position 4. Setters in position 5, go all the way next to the net. The outsider is in position 3, but then he comes and helping the reception. And then the offsetter here, I have my half circle. Yes, you can take a picture of this formation and then you know what to do. Right, and then now we had another rotation, and now the setter, look at her position. Gosh, she's ready for it. My setter, she's in position number 4, and my middle player is the front court middle player is in position number 3, and then I have an outsider in position number 2. As you can see, the middle player is fine because I do want the middle player to spike from number 3 anyway. However, my outsider, I don't really want him to spike from position number 2. I want him to come all the way here to spike position number 4. So how can I resolve this problem? You can tell me, drag this bitch all the way here for reception, and then you can create the half circle here. As you can see, you have a half circle, beautiful. But there is a problem because the outsider came all the way from position 2 to this side, and then he crossed the middle player. He's not allowed to cross him. So what we can do is the giant middle player, we need to come as well, and then we're gonna have this formation. Yeah, so no one is crossing anybody at the moment. So the outsider cannot cross the middle player, and the middle player cannot cross the setter. So these rules needs to be obeyed, because otherwise the referee will blow the whistle and you're gonna lose the point. So usually what I explain to everyone is on this position when the setter is in number 4, I usually say right. So let's squeeze everyone to the left. So bring the middle player, bring the outsider, and then you have your half circle formation. So no one is crossing anybody. Yeah. Also, very interesting here is, remember, this outsider is in position number 2. So obviously, the offsetter here is also his limit, so he cannot cross. So this outsider need to be careful when he comes here, because if he crossed the line in relation to the offsetter, that's breaking the rules as well. Yeah, so the offsetter cannot be in the front line, needs to be in the back, and the outsider needs to be in the front. We still have a half circle, which is fine. So it's just something for you to pay attention as well. So what's going to happen here? We have the half circle. Someone's going to serve from the other side. So as soon as someone touches the ball, the setter is allowed to leave and comes to his position. She's fine. She's ready for setting. And then the middle player, we need to go just after. And here I have the formation. Okay. So how many spikers do you think He-Man has at the moment? Some might say 3, but you need to pay attention because you need to remember that originally He-Man is in number 4, so he's front court. This outsider is in number 2, and the middle player is in number 3. So He-Man has got only 2 spikers front court, the middle player and the outsider. So when I make the formation for reception, the setter needs to remember, girl, I have only 2 spikers. So when they touch the ball, the setter will come here, and then the middle player will come ready to spike, and then outsider ready to spike as well. So the setter can set to the middle and can set to the outsider. What happens sometimes is the setter forgets that he's got only 2 spikers from court, and he goes and sets back thinking that the offsetter can come here and spike. But obviously the offsetter cannot spike because she is backward. Actually, she can spike, but as I explained to you before the 3 meters line, she can jump here and spike, but she cannot come all the way to the net, jump and spike. So just to make things simple and easier, the setter at the moment front court, just middle player and the outsider to spike. Okay. Right, last rotation, yeah, because Shira, He-Man, she is very tired at the moment. She had enough of this, and we need to make this video complete. So at the moment, the setter is in position number 3, and we have an outsider in position 4, and you have a middle player in position 2. So the outside is fine. I really want him to be there and spiking from 4. That's okay. But my middle player, I really don't want him to spike from 2. So let's organize the reception first. So I don't want my middle player usually to receive, so he can get out of the reception here. And then I can organize my reception with the other 4 guys. So I have reception here, reception here, reception here, and then reception here. As you can see, I have my half circle. Yeah, there you go. So that middle player, he is not receiving. So when someone touches the ball to serve, the ball is coming to this side, and I have 4 people for reception. And then after reception, as soon as they receive, or when the ball is in the air coming, the middle player will come to get ready for spiking. The setter will prepare to set from between 2 and 3. And then I have, again, the same formation. I have, after the reception, the setter will be able to set to the middle or to the outsider. Again, the set is front court, the offset is back court, so I have only 2 front court spikers. Yeah, I don't have more than 2. So the setter usually would set to the middle player or the outsider. Okay.